Arsenal vs PSG, a semi-final showdown. What went wrong? Let's dive into the heart of the matter. Arsenal faced off against Paris Saint-Germain in a semi-final that left fans with mixed feelings. Sure, the score was only 1-0, but that hardly tells the whole story. In the first 20 minutes, it felt like Arsenal was gasping for air, completely overwhelmed by the relentless pressure from PSG. The home crowd, usually a fortress, seemed to fade as the visitors dominated every inch of the pitch, their deep blue machine suffocating Arsenal's hopes. PSG looked like they had an extra player in every position, with João Neves popping up like a ghostly butler, always in the right place at the right time. Arsenal's aggressive style was thrown off balance, as PSG's physicality and tactical prowess forced them to chase shadows, leaving them drained and disoriented. Let's be clear, there's no shame in losing to a team like PSG. They are a powerhouse, filled with players perfectly suited to Luis Enrique's vision. With the Qatari ownership, they've built a squad that feels like a well-oiled machine, and they've come a long way from the days of flashy but ineffective star power. Arsenal had a solid record against PSG, having never lost in their previous 5 encounters. But this was a different PSG, a team that has taken a long, hard look in the mirror and emerged with a new identity. They're not just a project club anymore, they're a team that embodies hard work, humility, and a sense of purpose, much like Prince William volunteering at a homeless shelter. On this night, PSG showcased their strength by neutralizing Arsenal's own superpower, their intensity and relentless work ethic. The Emirates Stadium, usually buzzing with energy, felt oddly subdued as Arteta called for his players and the crowd to bring the big energy. He even appeared on the big screen, urging fans to connect with the team, reminiscent of a vintage recruitment poster mixed with a slightly awkward dating app video. In the pre-match huddle, Declan Rice was caught on camera saying, "If we don't have the ball, we die." Unfortunately, that sentiment rang true when PSG struck within the first 4 minutes. It was a goal that felt more like a death knell for Arsenal, as they struggled to maintain possession and allowed Dembele to glide through their defense with ease. At that moment, Arsenal had barely touched the ball, with Odegaard, Rice, and Merino still waiting for their first involvement. Rice faced criticism for the space Dembele exploited, as he was caught doubling up on Kvaratskhelia instead of holding his ground. It was a tough choice, but one that highlighted the danger lurking in PSG's attack. The real challenge for Arsenal came in the following minutes, as Rice found it difficult to utilize his speed from a deeper position, while PSG's well-drilled midfield made every pass feel like a monumental effort. The match was always going to hinge on the battle in the center of the pitch. PSG's new superpower lies in their ability to swarm opponents whenever they lose possession, a tactic that requires every player to be on the same page. This was a far cry from the days when Neymar was the face of the club, known more for his extravagant lifestyle than for teamwork. Neves epitomized the new PSG, always in the thick of the action, driven by a manager who looked like he stepped out of a punk rock concert. Luis Enrique, dressed in a sleek black windbreaker, seemed to relish the early exchanges, much to Arteta's dismay. Going down 1-0 to PSG so early in the game is a daunting task. They have a knack for draining the life out of their opponents, making it hard to mount a comeback. Arsenal did manage to find some footing by loading the ball into the box, thanks in part to Miles Lewis-Skelly's impressive performance in midfield. However, the night revealed some cracks in Arsenal's armor. They missed Gabriel's defensive prowess, and the absence of a strong central presence was palpable, especially when they needed someone to convert Saka's cross just before halftime. Most importantly, they felt the void left by Thomas Partey, whose ability to break through midfield pressure could have liberated Rice and changed the game's dynamics. This battle isn't over yet. PSG may have their own weaknesses, but they also possess a wealth of talent and an intensity that outshone Arsenal on this occasion. The stage is set for a thrilling second leg, and both teams will need to bring their A game.